They are 5-12 are the Braves. Chris Bassitt finishing up his warm-up pitches. He's about to get going. A guy who's relatively familiar with the Atlanta Braves. Of course, pitched that 2022 season with the New York Mets. Faced the Braves 3 times as a Met and once in his career as a Blue Jay.
Well, he's been really good locating that sinker, locating that cutter. He's been one of the best in 2025 so far.
Only 3 qualified pitchers have a better earned run average to start the season than Chris Bassitt. Would have been 4 before Schwellenbach got hit around yesterday. It's just Drew Rasmussen, Tyler Mahle, and Chris Bubich that have a better ERA. His first pitch of the game, fouled back by Michael Harris, and we're underway at 0-1. Time of the first pitch today, 1:08 Eastern. The roof closed once again. It's 5 degrees in downtown Toronto. Harris, left-handed hitting center fielder, faces an 0-1. Swing and a miss. Home plate umpire today is Bill Miller. Chad Fairchild at first, Ben May at second, Roberto Ortiz at third. Bassitt kicks and offers. Breaking ball misses outside. Ball 1.
That breaking ball from Chris Bassitt this season is just a little bit harder than it was last year. We haven't really seen the 68s, the 69s, a lot of 71, 72 like that one right there.
Here's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 90 at the top of the zone gets Harris. 1 down.
Pretty good cutter. He's been very good at throwing that thing to the top of the strike zone. Another one right there to Harris for out number 1.
Bassitt going to his right hip to communicate with his battery mate today, Alejandro Kirk. 1 out, base is empty, no score, top of the first. Austin Riley swings and hits the ball foul, 0-1. Braves wearing their navy jerseys today, gray pants, Blue Jays in their all whites. Chris Bassitt has a bright powder blue glove. The wind and the 0-1. Riley hits it foul off to the right, 0-2.
And how about that? Coming into Austin Riley has shown that he's still got a ton of pop in this series. Coming in with that fastball, that sinker right in on the hands. A good pitch.
2 hits and a home run for Riley yesterday. 3 home runs in the series. Bassitt's 2-strike pitch. High, ball 1.
It's interesting. A lot of younger guys would shy away from coming into a guy that's that hot, that powerful. But Chris Bassitt obviously knows that you have to pound those guys in, not allow them to get those arms extended.
36-year-old kicks and deals. Breaking ball inside, ball 2. Bassitt's major league career dating back to 2014, save for 2017 when he missed the year with injury. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Slowed it down to 73 on the sweeper, and he struck him out. 2 down.
That was a beautiful sweeper. Austin Riley was expecting something hard, probably something hard in. He was way out in front of that thing for out number 2.
So 2 down, and the infield shifts to the pull for the left-handed hitting Matt Olson. First pitch outside, ball 1. Chris Bassitt's got the kitchen sink, mostly sinkers, curves and sweepers, cutters and splitters, 4 seams, maybe an occasional changeup or slider as well. It's pretty much everything you could offer. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Another elevated cutter. You can see the frustration on Matt Olson's face. Looks like a fastball, and then it kind of cuts in on the hands a little bit. A tough pitch.
Olson knows Chris Bassitt well. Teammates with the Oakland A's from 2016 to 21. 1-1. Hit foul to the left, 1-2. Bassitt and Olson part of the last best Oakland teams with Matt Chapman and Marcus Semien.
What a squad that was.
Yeah, really good teams. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. How about punching out the side for Chris Bassett in the top of the first inning? A nice start to school day. No score. Braves and Blue Jays, middle of the first. Bo Bichette to lead off next. You're listening.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast.
The first time in 376 days. Righties pitch to Bo Bichette. Swing and a miss. 97 elevated, 0-1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue.
Bo Bichette swinging at that first pitch. He knows that Spencer Strider's trying to get ahead with that four-seam fastball. Tried to jump all over it.
Strider wiggling his hips back and forth into the wind and the 0-1. Check swing, liner foul. That pitch nearly hit Bichette, but it bounced off his handle into the backstop, 0-2.
And those two swings from Bo Bichette really show how much life that four-seam fastball has from Spencer Strider through the strike zone. It's almost like it rises, kind of catches you off guard.
High 90s fastball, slider, curve, and change. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him on the slider. That's vintage Spencer Strider, one down. Those who may not remember, Spencer Strider, 2023, one of Major League Baseball's best pitchers. Won 20 games to lead the majors, 20-5 record, 3.86 ERA in 32 starts. He struck out 281 batters in 186 and 2/3 innings. His pitch to Vlad Guerrero Jr., low ball one.
Well, I hate to say this, but he's well on his way to besting that number.
Wow, he's thrown 4 pitches.
Small sample size, Ben.
Strider into the wind and the 1-0. Swing and a miss. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Former Clemson Tiger, Spencer Strider, offers home. Called strike, 1-2. Strider had that great 2023 year. 2024 supplants Max Fried as the opening day starter, but then in his second outing has elbow discomfort, and that killed his whole season. The 1-2. Foul back. Got internal brace surgery, the less invasive alternative to Tommy John surgery. Peace sign necklace dangling in front of his jersey. Thick mustache for the righty Strider. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Another punch out on a slider. 2 down.
Well, the most impressive part about that slider, that fastball slider combination, is the slider comes out of the same tunnel as the fastball. So you have to respect the slider all the way and then just kind of lay off it at the very last second. And it's almost impossible to do.
Strider deals to Anthony Santander. First pitch hit right back foul. Santander all over that 98-mile-per-hour heater, 0-1.
A lot of guys with the slider, with the curveball, good hitters will see the hump on the slider or on the curveball. They can pick it up early. They can lay off of it, but not Spencer Strider. It looks like a fastball almost the whole way.
Here's 0-1 outside. He does face now a switch hitter batting left in Santander, and so less sliders typically for Strider when he's facing lefties. He'll mix in more of that third or fourth pitch. 2 out, space is empty, no score. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Look pretty good mixing in that slider to a left-handed hitter. It's 1-2.
I mean, we know that the third pitch is the changeup, the fourth pitch is the curveball. But let's be real, he's a 2-pitch pitcher.
Yeah. Waves off 3 signs, and now he nods. Strider kicks and offers. In the dirt. Looked like the curveball that time. 2-2. So Chris Bassett struck out the side in the top of the first. Spencer Strider trying to do the same in the bottom half. 2-2, and his pitch to Anthony Santander. High, ball 3.
Trying to elevate there with that four-seam fastball after bouncing the curveball at the back foot.
His 3-2. Popped up foul. And that'll land under our feet into the deep 100 level back behind the plate.
That was the one mistake, if you're Anthony Santander, that you're waiting for. Again, it's hard to recognize and stay back and be on that pitch, but that was a mistake right there. A little hanging breaking ball right down the middle of the plate.
3-2 again. Hit down the left field line, a fair ball bouncing toward the corner. Santander motoring around first. He easily gets up to second with a 2-out double.
Well, stay hot, Anthony Santander. Austin Riley was way off the line at third base. And Santander kind of just poked that good fastball from Spencer Strider and hit that thing down the line.
First hit of the day for the Blue Jays. 4th double of the season for Anthony Santander, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs. And Andres Jimenez coming up. Infield a little more straight up against another left-handed hitter. First pitch, called a strike. Jimenez, a .215 hitter, faces an 0-1 from Spencer Strider. Outside. Before his return to the big leagues, Spencer Strider made 3 rehab appearances with AAA Gwinnett, had a 1.32 ERA and 27 strikeouts in under 14 innings. The 1-1. Swing and a deep drive right field. Actually now charging in is Eli White. He'll make the catch after the initial misread to end the inning. A 2-out double for Santander. He's left in scoring position, and it's 0-0 after an inning.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast.
Stereo only. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. No score, top of the second between the Blue Jays and Braves. Sean Murphy will lead it off for Atlanta. Chris Bassett, facing to the side, gets into the wind and offers. Breaking ball, called strike. Mentioned in the first that Matt Olson was a former Chris Bassett teammate. Sean Murphy a little less time with Bassett, but 3 years with the A's. They were together. 0-1 is down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, Murphy caught Chris Bassett, so he has a unique relationship with him even to Olson. The 1-1. Hit on the ground left side of the diamond, picked up by Bo Bichette, the shortstop. Throw on to first, and there's one out.
It's interesting that you mentioned that Sean Murphy caught Chris Bassett because he pitched him a little differently than he normally would. Second inning, fourth batter of the game, he went curveball, sweeper, curveball. That's not how he would normally pitch somebody if you're the fourth batter of the game. So obviously there's a connection there, and he's expecting Sean Murphy to think something else.
Murphy set down, and with 1 out, here's Ozzie Albies, the switch hitter. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Bunch of these Braves will know Bassett pretty well, though. Mentioned he threw against them 3 times as a New York Met in 2022. Last time he saw them was as a Blue Jay in 2023, and Bassett threw a shutout with Toronto against Atlanta. Here's 1-0. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Righty kicks and offers. High, 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, Chris Bassett visibly upset with himself out there on the mound. Obviously falling behind Ozzie Albies 3-0 is not what you want to do in this situation with 1 out, nobody on.
Bassett's 3-0. Called a strike.
There you go. Pound that strike zone. Throw a couple more of those.
3 strikeouts already for Chris Bassett and 4 batters faced. 1 out, top of the second. He offers. Pitch called high. Looked pretty good, but it'll be ball 4.
It almost looked like that sinker, as much as it moved, fooled home plate umpire Bill Miller there. Chris Bassett wanted that pitch, kind of staring in at Bill Miller for a split second. That's a good pitch at the top of the strike zone.
Instead, it'll be a 1-out walk, and the DH Drake Baldwin is up to the plate. Right on left, he offers. Bassett misses inside, ball 1. We got our first look at Drake Baldwin yesterday, and it was impressive. He ended up with 2 hits and a walk. (1-0). Called strike.
And you could tell right away that Chris Bassett's being careful with him. There was that 1-0 splitter there to Baldwin.
Only out he made yesterday was that line out to deep center that was juggled and caught by Miles Straw. 1-1. High, 2-1. Ball that hit Straw in the glove, then the chest, then he caught it again. Although even that play, it was a 5% catch probability. Miles Straw's really quick. He covered a ton of ground to make it look like a much easier play than it really was. Baldwin back in today, but not catching, instead DHing for the first time in the series. Albies leading off first, 1 out. Bassett from the stretch, the pitch. Power down the left field line, foul. 2-2.
He does have that good sinker today. He's throwing a lot of off-speed so far earlier on in this ball game, but that sinker is moving a lot. That one right there was right down the middle, but it still missed the barrel of Baldwin.
The 2-2. Called strike 3. Snuck the sinker back in over the plate on the inside edge. 4th K today for Bassett.
Yeah, that was a beautiful sinker right there from Chris Bassett. Right on cue. Started it at the front hip and had that thing come back over the inner third. What a pitch. What a sinker.
So 2 outs. Bassett peeks over at first base where Ozzie Albies is leading off. Now steps off and throws wide of Guerrero. That one's skipping away. Albies up to second. Bassett tapping his chest saying, "My bad." It was just kind of a reset the clock throw, it seemed like. He didn't throw it all that hard, but he lobbed it high and wide of flag.
Well, I think that's the problem. The arm speed wasn't really there, and Chris Bassett just let that ball go a little bit higher than he normally would. That's really what happens when pitchers do that. You see that a lot when they're trying to throw to first base on a ground ball, try to lob it. They end up throwing it into right field.
So runner in scoring position after Bassett's error, and the pitch to Brian De La Cruz. Down and away, ball 1.
Now anything to the outfield really scores a run here. That's a big play in this ball game, especially with Spencer Strider on the mound.
Bassett's 1-0. Called strike. De La Cruz appearing in a 3rd straight game in this series. 2nd start of this series. Came in yesterday late as a pinch hitter. Playing left field today, the 1-1. Check swing, called strike. 1-2.
De La Cruz didn't like that call. Chris Bassett liked that call, nodding his head. I tend to agree with Chris Bassett. That was a good pitch.
No score, top of the second. Ozzie Albies on second base with 2 outs. The 1-2. Swing and a liner, center field. Coming in, Miles Straw. He'll make the catch to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Chris Bassett with an error, but it doesn't come.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball.
Wednesday matinee. It's a school day here in Toronto. Yellow buses outside the ballpark and lots of kids inside of it. 0-0 game. Spencer Strider's pitch to Alejandro Kirk is down and away, ball 1. You can see across the 500 level and other sections of the yard, big banners, schools having their school name, maybe their school team name on it as well. Now the 1-0. Kirk takes it in the dirt again. 2 balls, no strikes.
Took a little bit longer to get to my parking spot today, Ben. I have to admit.
It's a good day to walk. Spencer Strider out for his 2nd inning of work. 26-year-old's pitch. Called a strike. Just wait till you try to leave.
I'm going to camp out here in the booth for a couple of hours.
The 2-1 is smoked by Kirk to left field and down for a base hit. De La Cruz picks it up after a couple of hops. Alejandro Kirk all over that fastball on the inside edge.
Yeah, that was a really good swing on a 4-seam fastball in the inner third. And how about Alejandro Kirk pulling the baseball? We've seen him go the other way quite a bit this season. Finally starting to pull that baseball with some authority. A good hit right there.
Speaking of hitting it with authority, here's Alan Rodin up to the plate for the Blue Jays. A double and his first Major League homer yesterday. Strider from the stretch. Hit foul off to the left, 0-1. Strider sets, looking beyond third, now looks to the plate. Kicks and offers. Inside, ball one.
It's a good take. That's a tough pitch. Like I said, there's kind of that rise to that four-seam fastball of Spencer Strider. That's what makes his fastball so effective. That one right there, right at the hands on the inside part.
The 1-1. High ball two. Not only does Strider throw mid to high 90s, not only does he have that rising action, that spin, he also gets about as much extension down the mound as anyone in Major League Baseball. The 2-1. Called strike, or pardon me, an appeal down to third, and they get him swinging on the call by Roberto Ortiz. It's 2-2.
And Spencer Strider needs that extension because he's not that big. He's 6 feet tall. If you're a normal human, 6 feet tall is just fine, but as a big league pitcher, as dominant as he is, that's really not that tall.
Righty's 2-2. And he hit Alan Rodin on the side. Got him with something off speed. It was the slider at 85. Rodin dumps the bat, heads down to first, and Alejandro Kirk up to second.
And we've seen that a couple of times this year from Alan Rodin, where that ball is coming right at him, and he doesn't even move. Hitting him right in the thigh. I'm moving out of the way of that baseball if it's coming at me.
Alan Rodin high on base percentages constantly. And that's one way to get on base. He's on first, Kirk's on second. Nobody out. Infield in. Ernie Clement takes outside, ball one. Corners especially pinched in. Middle infield more at double play depth. Looks like the Braves are expecting a sac bunt. They backed up slightly after Clement didn't square on the first pitch. No score, bottom two. Here's the 1-0. Just downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. That's going to prompt Sean Murphy to go out to the mound. Talked with Brian Snitker yesterday, and people were asking him, how do you make the day normal for Strider? What can you do? And he said to a certain extent, it's just not a normal day for Spencer Strider, and it's going to be a big day for him physically, emotionally. Second time that he's had major elbow surgery, and the first time it's happened as a pro, and he's going to be super pumped and excited to be back.
And there are a lot of eyeballs throughout baseball on this game right now. Just seeing if Spencer Strider is still that guy that he was in 23.
He looks at second and now deals a 2-0 to Clement in the zone. Strike one.
And you could see just how much this game meant to him. There was a Sportsnet camera on him sitting in the dugout before he came out to the mound. He was very visibly emotional, amped up, kind of rocking back and forth, ready for this start.
His 2-1. Hopped up down the first baseline in foul territory. Olsen ranging onto the side. Warning track, reaches out and makes an over-the-shoulder catch. Second time this series, he's made a play just on the edge of the netting that many first basemen would not pull off. And there's one down.
And that's the risk you take, not sacrifice bunting in that situation. You have a tough pitcher on the mound. Again, John Schneider and I don't see eye to eye on the small ball aspect of baseball very often, but in that situation, a tough pitcher on the mound, I'm trying to get every base I can. I'm definitely laying down a bunt there.
Can I devil's advocate for you?
Because Addison Barger's coming up to the plate?
That's not a put the ball in play kind of hitter. Strider's pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Typically, if you're on base and Addison Barger hits the ball, you're going to score.
So I thought about that as well, and Addison Barger is a higher strikeout rate, so you don't want to have one out Addison Barger at the plate, but I'm taking my chances with Spencer Strider on the mound.
It's fair. First and second, one out. Strider's 0-1. Fouled right back. It'll go just under our feet, zipping into the 200 level seats.
And just to add to that, I think everybody's a higher strikeout rate with Spencer Strider on the mound.
For sure, but we're talking. This is not Ernie Clemente at the plate after this, where you're going to say, okay, hit a ground ball or hit a fly ball. Barger's a little more boom or bust. The 0-2. High and outside, ball one.
So yeah, I can see your point. I can see John Schneider's point.
Kirk on second, Roden on first. One out, no score, bottom of the second inning. Strider's 1-2. Down and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Really nice take on a tough slider at the back foot.
Addison Barger got his major league debut out of the way yesterday, went 0 for 4. The 2-2. Popped up foul. It'll go back into the seats just near us again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains. Barger points the bat up toward the ceiling and now wheels it around above his left shoulder. Open stance, left side. 2-2. High and outside, ball 3. Pretty good battle here for Barger against Strider.
Yeah, he's fouled off some tough pitches. Fastballs at the top of the strike zone. Took a tough slider at the back foot.
A look at second from Strider and his payoff pitch. Swing and a deep drive center field. Harris sprinting back at the warning track makes the catch. And the runners retreat to their respective bases. Kirk back at second, Roden at first, 2 down. And that is the situation where if they had bunted, a run likely to score.
I wasn't going to say it, but that's the perfect scenario right there. And I understand your point. I understand Schneider's decision not to bunt there, but that is the perfect situation from my point. If you move the runners up, sac fly, Alejandro Kirk scores in that situation, and it's 1-0 Toronto. But I do understand your point.
Yeah, I think you could go either way.
Yeah.
Instead, it's still 0-0, 2 outs. Miles Straw is up, and the first pitch down and away, ball 1. Still Kirk on second, still Roden on first. A hit and a hit batter allowed this inning by Spencer Strider. Straw, the 9-hitter today, faces a 1-0. Called strike. A 1-for-3 day yesterday for Miles Straw, continuing to impress early on in the season. 11 for 29, near 380 average. 1-1. Fouled off to the right into the netting, 1-2. Infield plays Straw straight up. Outfield just slightly shading to the opposite field against the right-handed hitter. The 1-2. Down and away.
You can tell Spencer Strider doesn't quite have the feel for that slider quite yet. That one was way off the plate outside.
It's cost him some pitches. Already 42 thrown in an inning and 2/3. His 2-2 offering to Straw. Popped up foul into the seats. They'll do it again at 2-2. Now the 2-2. Down and away, ball 3.
Tough take right there. Like I said, that slider is so effective because it looks like a fastball and then kind of darts away from right-handed hitters. Miles Straw with a very good take right there.
2 on, 2 out, no score, bottom of the second. Strider turns the leg around, throw to second, sails into right center field. Alejandro Kirk takes off for third. Alan Roden up to second. Error by the pitcher on an interesting play. He went with the inside move. Kirk broke the wrong way initially, but no one was there to cover second base. And as the second baseman Albies moved toward the bag, Strider threw back toward right center and just whipped that one into the outfield.
And that throw was nowhere near Ozzie Albies. Didn't even give him a chance with that one. A big error from Spencer Strider here in this ballgame.
Second and third, 2 down. 3-2 to Straw. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him to chase the slider, and he strands a pair of runners to end the inning. No runs on a hit, 1 error, 2 left, no score. We head to the third. You're listening to Blue Jays.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang.
Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. 0-0 game, and Eli White takes a strike from Chris Bassett, 0-1. Only 1 base runner allowed so far for Chris Bassett. A walk in the second. His 0-1 to the 8-hitter. White takes it down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pass it to the pitch calm on his right hip. Now into the wide. 1-1. Check swing on a pitch inside. Appeal down to first. No swing. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Another tough sinker from Chris Bassett. Looked like Eli White went around. Obviously he didn't, but just all kinds of movement in off the plate from Chris Bassett.
The 2-1. Hit foul to the right. 2-2.
He's staying hard right here. 4 straight fastballs from Chris Bassett to start this at bat.
Bassett nods into the wide, and it's 2-2. His tie with a cutter. If you want to call that a fastball, that's 5 straight, 3-2.
You can call it a cut fastball if you want.
Lives in kind of that gray area between fastballs and breaking balls. Full count to the leadoff hitter, White. 0-0 game, the 3-2. Just outside, ball 4, and he issues a leadoff walk.
Pretty good take right there from Eli White. A good at-bat. That was a tough sinker just off the plate outside. You can see Chris Bassett nodding his head. Knows that he should have been at least a little bit more on the plate there with that one.
White a little bit familiar with Chris Bassett. Was actually an A's draft pick, but then traded to the Rangers and played parts of a couple seasons with Texas, so he's seen Bassett before. Here's Orlando Arcia. First pitch, swing and a miss by the shortstop, 0-1. First time we've seen Arcia in the series. He's 5 for 24 on the year with a double and an RBI. The pitch. Chopped up the middle. Long run. Jimenez, the second baseman, fields it on the wrong side of the bag. Throws across the diamond to first for the out. Eli White scampered up to second. There's one down.
That was actually a smart play from Andres Jimenez. He was on the shortstop side of second base. Eli White would have beaten him there if he tried to run back to second base and get that force out there. He just decided to take the easy out and threw that ball across the diamond to get Arcia.
Trying to limit the big inning instead of going for a heroic play, and now Jimenez sets up deep toward first base a little bit with the left-handed hitter Michael Harris up. The pitch. Slow breaking ball, strike one. Second time through the order for Chris Bassett. Michael Harris struck out on a cutter in the first. Ready peeks at second, kicks and offers. And Harris pops it up foul into the seats beyond the third base dugout. 0-2.
I throw another one right there. That just gives you the opportunity to either get a strikeout or a pop-up. You don't want that run at second base scoring. Like I said, I hate to beat a dead horse, but Spencer Strider's on the mound, and you can't give up too many runs here in this ballgame.
Bassett kicks and fires. Missed upstairs, trying to do something similar. Harris laid off, 1-2. Michael Harris, leadoff hitter for his second straight day, third rounder by the Braves out of a high school in Stockbridge, Georgia, about 40 minutes southeast of Atlanta. 0-2. Hit foul into the thigh of Alejandro Kirk. Harris growing up, a family friend / protege of two-year Brave and six-season Montreal Expo, Marquise Grissom. Trained and coached him in high school.
It seems like the Braves, they really like to draft local guys, Georgia guys, Atlanta guys.
It is one of the best talent pools in all of the U.S. as well. The 1-2. Called, strike three. Bassett gets a bit of a break on a pitch about an inch off the plate. Harris set down 5 Ks for Chris Bassett.
Well, that was a beautiful sinker. Alejandro Kirk did a great job framing that pitch, bringing it back maybe an inch or two. Michael Harris didn't like that call. He was shaking his head as that ball crossed home plate. But that's a great pitch right off the plate inside.
2 outs, runner on second, and the pitch called a strike to Austin Riley on the inside edge, 0-1. Riley, not a Georgia guy, but not too far away. Grew up in Mississippi.
Close enough.
Drafted in 2015 by the Braves. Compensatory pick after the first round. 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Riley, a great athlete growing up. Committed to Mississippi State to play baseball and to punt on their football team. Never ended up going. The 0-2. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know who else is a really good punter? And I don't think you'll get this. I'll give you one guess.
Alejandro Kirk. No, who is it?
Giancarlo Stanton.
I would not have guessed that at all. He's too big to be a punter.
He boots that football. I've seen him do it.
Riley, a pretty big guy himself. He's got a runner on second, 2 outs, no score in this game, top of the third, and Bassett steps off.
By the way, Alejandro Kirk was an awful guess.
It was not okay. Austin Riley, though, has punting in his blood. His dad, Mike, actually punted for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who have a very solid football program and baseball program, and Riley could have been a part of both of them had he not signed with the Braves. The 1-2. Check swing pitch inside. Appealed out to first. He did go, says Chad Fairchild, and that will end the top of the third inning. 6 strikeouts for Chris Bassett in the game. No score. Blue Jays and Braves, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Bottom of the third starts with a foul ball off the bat of Bo Bichette. Spencer Strider going second time through the order.
And how about that? Bo Bichette swinging at another first pitch. That one was a four-seamer, actually a hittable four-seamer at the top of the strike zone.
Strider winds and offers. Bichette checks his swing on a pitch down and away.
Bo Bichette's turning into George Springer. Loves swinging at that first pitch.
John Schneider said yesterday his greatest blessing can also sometimes be a curse. The 1-1. Bichette swings and lines the ball to left center field. That's down for a base hit. Bouncing onto the warning track. Bichette around first. He'll head into second. He's got a double for a second straight day.
Well, when Bo Bichette sees that baseball and gets a pitch that he can hit, he normally hits it pretty hard, and there was no difference there. Smokes that thing in the gap for a leadoff double.
Blue Jays with traffic now in all 3 innings against Spencer Strider. They've had a runner in scoring position at least in all 3 frames, but have not cracked Strider yet. It's the return to Major League Baseball for Spencer Strider after internal brace surgery on his UCL last year. Runner on second, no outs. The pitch to Vlad Guerrero. In the dirt, ball 1.
And so far in this ballgame, Spencer Strider has made some mistakes. He made a mistake there. He's made a couple of mistakes with that slider. The Blue Jays just haven't capitalized yet to this point.
He hasn't looked his sharpest, but he has looked pretty healthy. Consistent 95 to 98 on his heater. Here's the 1-0. Called strike at 95, 1-1. Second time going through this for Spencer Strider, who suffered a similar elbow injury in his time at Clemson. Here's 1-1. Down and away, 2-1.
Fastball velo is just slightly down from 2023. 2023 averaged 97.2 at the fastball. In his rehab starts this year, 2025, he was 95.7. That'll eventually get back to 96.5, maybe 97.
This 2-1. Hit on the ground up the middle, base hit into center field. Bichette getting the wave around third. Harris up with it. The throw to the plate is late, and the Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead on a Vlad Guerrero RBI single.
It's a little four-seamer from Spencer Strider. Vlad didn't try to do too much with it, just hit that pitch where it was pitched, right back up the middle for a big base hit and an RBI.
And an automatic wave there from Carlos Fabulous with how quickly Bo Bichette got off to the races. Big secondary, and right when that ball hit the ground, Bichette was gone. First time in the series that the Blue Jays strike first. They're up 1-0. Bottom of the third, nobody out. The pitch to Anthony Santander. Called strike.
If you're at second base and that base hit or wherever that ball is hit is to the left of you, you automatically go to third base, and Bo Bichette did it perfectly there.
The 0-1. Check swing, pitch down and away, appeal down to third, no swing, as Santander also pointed for the appeal. It's 1-1. Anthony Santander with a double in the first inning. Now has an extra base hit in 5 straight games and a hit in 7 games in a row. The 1-1. Foul tip, 1-2. There, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Spencer Strider, whose pitch count is above 50.
That was another mistake right there, right down the middle with that four-seamer.
Almost worked like a changeup because it was a couple miles per hour slower than Santander might have expected. The 1-2. Swing and a fly ball. Left field, pretty shallow. De La Cruz coming in, makes the catch, 1 out. Well, a major elbow injury like Spencer Strider's can be a huge negative in many people's careers. Hasn't really worked that way for Strider, who's unique to most of his peers. The first time he injured his elbow, in a way, really actually set him up to become the pitcher that he is today. 1 out, runner on first. Guerrero takes off on the pitch to Andres Jimenez. Throw down to second. Not in time. Pitch was called a strike. Throw went in there. It was close. But Vladdy with the head first dive, and for now, his first stolen base of the year.
Well, the Braves are probably looking at this right now in the dugout. They haven't decided to challenge yet, and they will decide to challenge as Brian Snitker makes that earphone.
Atlanta's challenging the safe call at second base.
What do you think, Ben? You just saw the slow motion replay.
I think he might be out. It's pretty close. I think the tough thing for Guerrero is that his right hand is extending out in kind of that swim move slide, but rather than the tips of his fingers hitting the base, his fingers are pointed up, and it seemed like his palm was the first thing to hit the base. That cost him fractions of a second, and I think the tag might have slapped down there. But it's really close, and the call on the field is safe. So in that respect, the Blue Jays have somewhat of an edge.
But, as we've seen so often, if the call on the field is safe and there's not definitive evidence, it might stay safe. But I tend to agree with you. From this slow-motion replay, it looks like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is out at second base. And he made a great swim move slide there to avoid that
After review, the
tag.
call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Atlanta will retain their challenge.
I think that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think they had a clear look there. So the call overturned. Guerrero caught stealing. 2 down. A strike on Andres Jimenez with 2 outs. So on Spencer Strider, by the way, most guys, Tommy John surgery, that's not going to help. But when he hurt his elbow at Clemson, Tigers coaches said that he should go meet with a sports psychologist to help deal with it. And it really changed, according to Strider, the guy he was. His next pitch hit foul, 0-2. Changed his perspective and the way that he went about his craft. The wind in the 0-2, fouled back.
Clemson must have a lot of funding. When I had Tommy John at Winthrop, nobody sent me to any psychologist.
Yeah. Well, the one that Strider worked with, he still works with today, Dr. Corey Schaefer. Among the things that they go over, one of them is, here's the 0-2 first, and it's lined to right center field by Jimenez, but it's going to be caught by Michael Harris. So we'll continue that when Strider's back on the hill. Blue Jays get a run. Bo Bichette with the leadoff double. Vlad Guerrero Jr. singles him in. It's 1-0 Toronto after 3 innings. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust.
Can't get enough baseball? Start streaming MLB now.
Mart has the great advice and the products you need so you'll get the job done right. Knock it out of the park and win the day with Timber Mart, Canada's building center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Joe Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young, Austin Mackey, and Derek Brandale, our technical directors. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the 4th. Chris Bassett deals to Matt Olson. Called strike. Bassett with 6 strikeouts today, 3 in the first inning and 2 in the third inning. Snuck one in the second as well. The 0-1. Hit back foul, 0-2.
Well, he's looked great today. He's had 3 good starts so far this season, and this one might be his best.
Struck out his old teammate Matt Olson in the first inning on a cutter elevated. Got him to swing and miss. The 0-2. Went back up there, but didn't get Olson a bite. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Chris Bassett shaking his head. Him and Bill Miller actually had a conversation after the last inning, and I don't know if they're not on the same page, but that was a great sinker at the top of the strike zone.
The wind and the 1-2. Foul back into the screen. This fourth inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Right on left, here's another 1-2. Driven to left field on a line. That's down and bouncing toward the gap. Cut off by Rodin. Olson stops at first as Rodin spins and fires it back into the infield. It's a leadoff single and the first hit of the day for the Braves.
Well, that was a great job from Alan Rodin, cutting off that baseball in the gap in left center and keeping Matt Olson at first base. But you can hear the frustration from Chris Bassett. Probably going back to that missed call. Not a missed call because I thought it was a ball. It was above the strike zone, but obviously Chris Bassett thought that was strike 3.
Bassett deals to Sean Murphy, called strike 0-1. Two walks allowed by Bassett in the first 3 innings. Now the single to Olson. From the stretch, Bassett looks to the plate, deals. Swing and a high chopper charging in from short. Bichette, gloves on the turf, rifles to first in time for the out. Guerrero with a snap throw back to second, but Olson back in safe. 1 down, Olson up to second on the 6-3 putout.
That was a nice play from Bo Bichette. I'm glad he decided to go across the diamond and get Sean Murphy at first base for the sure out instead of trying to get Matt Olson at second base. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the heads-up play, throwing behind Matt Olson at second, seeing if he's paying attention over there.
Not exaggerating, that ball might have bounced 20 feet in the air off of the chopper. Bichette ran in and caught it almost like a pop-up underhanded. 1 out, runner on second, and the pitch to Ozzie Albies, called strike. Pardon me, no it wasn't.
Chris Bassett's not going to like that one. Oh boy.
Bit of a chuckle from Ozzie Albies, who taps the plate and looks out to Bassett. Now the 1-0. That one called a strike, 1-1.
It was interesting. He really showed frustration after the missed call on that sinker to Matt Olson, and then he didn't have a reaction to that one. And I thought that pitch was much better than the sinker that he threw to Matt Olson.
His 1-1. High and outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Bassett trying to keep the Blue Jays in front, 1-0. Matt Olson on second, Bo Bichette playing behind him, pounds the glove, the 2-1. Breaking ball, backdoors Albies, called strike, 2-2.
Great pitch right there, just breaking out that really slow breaking ball. Perfect location, down and away.
70.5 miles an hour was that curve from Bassett. His 2-2. Slow breaking ball lifted to shallow left. Rodin charging forward, makes a one-handed catch, 2 outs.
Well, you could tell that Ozzie Albies just wasn't comfortable with that slow breaking ball. Took the first one, and he was actually shaking his head after that pitch crossed over home plate, and then was way out in front of that second one.
So 2 outs after the leadoff single. Matt Olson on second. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the 4th. Bassett sets, looks out at second, and pitches to Drake Baldwin. Called strike. Baldwin punched out looking in the second inning on a front hip sinker. 0 for 1 today. Long look at second from Bassett. Olsen creeping back to second, the 0-1. Fouled off the glove of Kirk, 0-2.
Great pitch right there. Little cutter at the top of the strike zone. And I stay right there if I'm him. Throw that cutter again, maybe even higher. Don't give Baldwin a chance to get something to the outfield here.
No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the 4th. With Olsen on second, Bassett sets, kicks, and deals. Swing and a miss. Struck him out on a breaking ball in the dirt. Kirk applies the tag. 7 punch-outs for Bassett in 4 scoreless innings. 1-0 Blue Jays, middle of the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
Let's
It's 1-0. Alejandro Kirk leads off. The pitch from Spencer Strider, high and outside. Ball 1. Kirk, Allen Rodin, Ernie Clements to hit this inning for Toronto. Strider in his 4th inning since UCL surgery deals a 1-0, and it's called a strike, 1-1. It's been a bit of a mixed bag so far for Spencer Strider. 1 earned run in 3 innings. A couple strikeouts early. The 1-1. Low 2-1. But the command and velocity hasn't quite been where it was at least a couple years ago when he was healthy.
Yeah, and that's expected, I would imagine. He's just 12 months off of surgery.
2-1 pitch. In the dirt, ball 3. Internal brace surgery, a more popular alternative now to Tommy John than a couple of years ago. Supposed to be a little bit less of a layoff, so you have guys coming back sooner from UCL injuries. The 3-1. Called strike, 3-2. You look over to the Blue Jays, and Alek Manoah had internal brace surgery on June 17th last year.
Did he say 12 to 15 months?
I think so.
I think he said that in spring training. That seems about right.
The 3-2. Check, swing, bouncer, foul. There are guys, though, who can get the brace and come back in 10. It's happened before.
That seems so quick.
Yeah.
Just imagine somebody opening you up and then 10 months later you're throwing on a big league mound.
Strider's 3-2 again. Hit off the handle, a liner caught just above the dirt. No, it was picked on the backhand side by Albies, but he'll throw it over to first for the out.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, 100% Canadian owned and operated since 1992. Every Tuesday night, wings are just half price. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. You are welcome.
No other AL East games in action right now, but coming up later, Dean Kramer will pitch for Baltimore against Gavin Williams in Cleveland at Camden Yards. That game's 6:35. Alan Roden up to the plate for the Blue Jays. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike, 0-1. 1-0 Blue Jays. One out, base is empty, bottom of the fourth. The wind in the 0-1. Down and in.
I'm going to be watching that Giants-Phillies game. Robbie Ray and Aaron Nola.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Ray's 3-0 with a 2.93 right now for the Giants.
1-1. Smoked right field. Backing up Eli White to the warning track. He'll make the catch just in front of the dirt. And Alan Roden breaking his bat on a near-miss extra base hit there. 2 down.
Yeah, Alan Roden just missed his second career home run. That fastball kind of snuck up on him. Got in on the hands just a little bit. Missed a home run by about 15 feet out there in right field.
I got another pitching matchup for you on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard to watch. Clark Schmidt makes his season debut for the Yankees today as they host Chris Bubich and the Royals. Bubich with a sub-1 ERA. Spencer Strider's first pitch to Ernie Clement fouled off, 0-1. 2 out, spaces empty, 1-0 Blue Jays, bottom of the fourth. The 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Also have the finale of the Red Sox-Rays series, which has had 2 blowouts, 1 each way in the first 2 games. That one at 7:05 Eastern on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. 1-1 to Clement. Popped up foul back behind the plate. That one will get into the 500 level, where some of the kids from school day are. It's 1-2.
I'm sure the Blue Jays are okay with the Sox and the Rays beating up on each other.
Those teams, in terms of games back, tied for 3rd in the AL East. Red Sox with a slightly better win percentage. And now the 1-2, cut on and missed. Strike 3. Ernie Clement goes down, a 1-2-3 inning for Spencer Strider. And we go to the 5th with the Blue Jays up 1-0. You're listening to
Great moment.
match over the Atlanta Braves. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Chris Bassett having a really nice day so far. Back out on the hill to take on the bottom third of the Brave order. Into the wind, he deals to Brian De La Cruz. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Brian De La Cruz in the lineup today. Great numbers in his career off Chris Bassett. 6-4-11, 3 doubles and a home run. The 0-1. Hit foul to the right, 0-2. They would have matched up in the time where Bassett was a Met and De La Cruz was a Marlin. De La Cruz, mostly a Marlin in his career. A little bit of time with the Pirates. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Just beat him with a fastball down the middle. 8 Ks for Chris Bassett.
Well, that's what happens when you have that really slow breaking ball and you're throwing it to perfection. De La Cruz respecting that off-speed stuff, and then Chris Bassett just sneaking that sinker right by him, actually right down the middle. Still a lot of movement on that sinker, though. That's a great pitch today.
His pitch down to Eli White. Corners in, called strike on another sinker. 0-1. This 5th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at desjardins.com/care today. Next pitch called a strike. That was the sweeper. It's 0-2. Oh-2 offering. Fouled off of the glove of Kurt. Couldn't hold on to it. The slow sweeper had White out in front. Still no balls, 2 strikes. White with a walk back in the 3rd inning. Super utility player gets the start in right field today. Another 2-strike pitch. Hit foul over the screen into the 200 level behind home plate.
As a baseball fanatic, would you rather watch a pitcher like Spencer Strider just power guys away, or would you rather a guy like Chris Bassett who kind of navigates and is almost clinical in his starts?
First, another 0-2 in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This sounds like a cop-out, but I really think one of my favorite things about baseball is seeing both. Getting a matchup of one of those guys against another. Seeing a Jose Altuve and Yordan Alvarez hit in the same lineup.
That's a good answer.
The wind and the 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Like you want to watch Greg Maddux versus Roger Clemens type of thing.
Yeah, you can do it. There's so many different ways, different routes to get there.
Jamie Moyer versus Randy Johnson.
There you go. Oh, they would have been teammates for that.
There you go.
2-2. Down and away, ball 3. Two walks and 1 single allowed from Chris Bassett today. That's all the damage. 8 strikeouts, no runs given up so far. His 3-2. Breaking ball hit on a looping line out to left. That drops in for a shallow left field base hit.
Pretty good pitch from Chris Bassett, and a 3-2 count. Just dropped that breaking ball in there. That super slow 71-mile-an-hour breaking ball below the strike zone. Eli White doing a good job just poking that thing into left field.
So White aboard for the 2nd time today. Another guy with pretty good numbers in his career against Bassett. That's his 5th hit now in 11 at-bats against the Toronto righty. Pitch home to Orlando Arcia, outside, ball 1. Blue Jays baseball is presented by Crown Rust Protection. 1-0 Toronto, top of the 5th inning. Runner on first and 1 out. Bassett turns, throws to first. Backhanded tag applied by Vlad Guerrero, but not in time as White dove back in head first.
Eli White does have a stolen base this year. 3 stolen bases last year and 21 in his career, so you have to be aware of him over there.
Big lead for White. The pitch to Arcia downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Chris Bassett up to 75 pitches with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. He can go about as deep pitch count-wise as anyone, though, on this Blue Jays team. Next pitch, White takes off, and it's lined to left field, down for a base hit. White had to wait to make sure it dropped, so he remains at second. It's a single for Arcia. Back-to-back hits for the Braves, who have 2 on with 1 out.
No damage done. You still have 1 out in this inning, so now you just have to really focus and make your pitches here. Actually, Arcia with a pretty good swing there on a fastball inside. Good sinker. Just pulls those hands through and hits a good line drive to left field.
It's good news, bad news now. It's the top of the order for the Braves with 2 on, but Bassett has struck out Harris and Riley, the top 2 hitters, all 4 times he's faced them today. His pitch to Harris, hit back foul, 0-1. Got Harris swinging on a cutter in the first and looking on a sinker in the third. 2022 National League Rookie of the Year. Looking out at Bassett, straight up stance, 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bassett now at 78 pitches here in the top of the 5th inning with 1 out.
Spencer Strider, the opposing pitcher, at 74. Strider also the runner-up in 2022 when Harris won it Rookie of the Year. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase outside. That was a rare splitter from him today, 1-2.
That had a lot of downward action to it. That's one of the best splitters I've seen him throw.
White on second, Arcia on first. 1 out, 1-0 Toronto, top of the 5th. Bassett from the stretch. That ball hooked down the right field line, and that's going to go foul. Well struck by Michael Harris, but couldn't keep it straight enough.
It's always... It's a difficult pitch to throw out of the zone and then in the zone. You want to stay away from that. You want to go in the zone and then out of the zone, never backwards. Chris Bassett kind of did the backwards one there.
Another 1-2 in that pitch, high and outside. Check swing by Harris, but he didn't go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harris is quick, so if you're thinking about turning a double play, it's got to be tailor-made. 2-2. Bounce to the plate, skips away from Kirk. White up to third base. Bassett's going to scramble in to cover the plate. Arcia at second on a wild pitch.
That was a really tough play for Kirk back there. Bounce in that lefty batter's box, and I believe in front of the plate. Kirk did everything he could to try to get in front of that baseball, but that was a tough one.
And that's one where you just reach your glove out.
Yeah.
Because you can't get your body there in time. Wild pitch on Bassett. Eliminates some forces and makes it so a fly ball would tie the game. Or even a well-placed ground ball. Middle infield is playing back. The 3-2. Hit back foul.
Tried to come up and in with that cutter. Kind of left it out, up and away. That was actually a hittable baseball for Harris. Luckily for Chris Bassett, he just fouled it back.
Second and third for the Braves. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the 5th. With 1 out, another 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a curveball well off the plate outside. 2 down.
Yeah, that's a big, big pitch for Chris Bassett. Almost a pitch that I'm sure Michael Harris will go look at the iPad and think I should not have swung at that pitch, but Chris Bassett got lucky there. 2 outs in this inning now.
Perhaps Harris thought it was the sweeper that would run a little more east to west back over the plate, but it was the curve that stayed out there. 9th K for Bassett. Second and third, 2 down, and his pitch to Austin Riley. Outside with the aforementioned sweeper, ball 1.
And you can be careful to Austin Riley, although Matt Olson's standing in that on-deck circle, so pick your poison, I guess.
Riley on an 8-game hit streak, 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. A hotter hitter this season than Olson, but Olson has a hit today. The 1-0. Riley takes up top, ball 2. Infield back and to the pull side against the right-handed hitter, Austin Riley. Bassett's offering. On the outside edge, or at least called that way by Bill Miller. Called strike, 2-1.
Austin Riley didn't like that call, shaking his head right now.
And it's not a great call.
I like that call. As a pitcher, I love that call.
Chris Bassett loves the call. Bassett's going to ask for time now and wave Alejandro Kirk to come out to the mound so they can go over something. At the same time, the Blue Jays have action in their bullpen. Nick Sandlin, who went and faced just one batter yesterday, is throwing today.
Well, I'm sure Alejandro Kirk and Chris Bassett are putting together a game plan right now. Do we come at this guy? Do we pitch around him? Do we kind of work corner to corner here? There's a lot of options, but like I said, Matt Olson, who had a homer in last night's ball game, is no slouch over there in that on-deck circle, but you do have that open base at first base.
As that mound meeting breaks up, we can take a quick peek at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Milwaukee leading Detroit 4-0 today. A young Milwaukee team off to a good start, but it's the vets leading them today. Christian Yelich with a homer and Rhys Hoskins with a homer. 4-0 Milwaukee, St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. 2-1 pitch now to Riley. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Great pitch there. What a sinker right underneath that bat of Austin Riley.
Garcia on second, White on third. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the fifth. 88 pitches today for Chris Bassett, who kicks and deals. And that one fouled off the glove of Alejandro Kirk. They'll do it again. Another 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. 10 strikeouts for Chris Bassett in 5 scoreless. The Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the fifth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's
I'm Ben Schulman. Spencer Strider deals home, and the first pitch taken inside by Addison Barger, ball one. 8-9-1 for the Blue Jays this inning. Barger, Straw, Bichette. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Barger looking for his first hit of his major league season. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Last year played in 69 games for the Blue Jays. Came up with 41 hits and 208 at-bats. 11 doubles, 7 homers. 2-1. Outside, ball 3.
In between innings, it looked like John Schneider went up to Chris Bassett, shook his hand, and said, "Nice game. That's all for today." When you see the manager shake the hand of the starter, that generally means that their day is done.
The 3-1. Fouled back off of the home plate umpire, Bill Miller. Sean Murphy quick to check on him. Miller seems all right, although he took the mask off for a sec. 3-2 count now.
Big swing from Addison Barger. You could tell what he was trying to do with that pitch, that fastball that kind of rode up and in on the hands.
John Schneider mentioned yesterday it's a continuing challenge for Barger on how much of his aggression to use, how much does he want to scale it back without getting away from himself. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him out in front on an off-speed pitch, and for Strider, it's his 5th strikeout.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch when you're expecting, especially being a youngster, when you're expecting that 95, 96, four-seam fastball that rides to the top of the strike zone, and then you get the 3-2 slider. It's a tough pitch right there for Addison Barger.
New baseball for Strider, who rolls one back to the first base dugout of the Braves. And now Miles Straw up to the plate. 1-0 Blue Jays, bottom 5, the pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Miles Straw currently on an 8-game hit streak, third longest of his major league career. Has won 10 and won 11-game streak as a big leaguer. 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. He's 0 for 1 today, struck out on a slider in the second. The 1-1 pitch. Straw takes it away, 2 balls, 1 strike.
If there's one thing I've noticed about Miles Straw, he looks very comfortable in the box right now. His takes are very, very good takes. Not antsy, not jumpy at all.
The 2-1. High fly ball left field, hit right at Brian De La Cruz. Two-handed catch, 2 down.
And although that was an out to De La Cruz in left field, that was still a good swing. It might have got in on him just a little bit, but another good swing on a good pitch. He's making a ton of good decisions up there.
Straw jogs back into the dugout, and Bo Bichette up for the 3rd time today. His double, the catalyst to the run-scoring inning for the Blue Jays. He doubled and scored on the Vlad Guerrero single in the 3rd.
The ball was an absolute rocket off the bat of Bo.
First pitch to Bichette is hit high in the air, shallow right center field. Ozzie Albies, the second baseman, waves for it, makes the catch, and ends the inning. Spencer Strider has retired 8 in a row since giving up that RBI single, but his team still trails.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball.
Jays and the Braves, and it's a pitching change for Toronto, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Brendan Little, the lefty, is on, trying to protect the 1-0 lead for Toronto. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Left on left, Little deals to Matt Olson. First pitch strike, 0-1. We saw Brendan Little yesterday. He came in, pitched a scoreless inning, around a walk. He struck out 2. The 0-1. Down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good pitch right there, down and in to Matt Olson with that good fastball. We've talked about this a lot with Brendan Little, but the biggest thing when he comes into close ball games like this, he has to throw strike 1. Obviously threw strike one to Matt Olson.
1-1. Curveball called a strike. Got a break there. That pitch definitely low. 1-2.
Matt Olson didn't like that call. He actually took a walk after Bill Miller made that call. I tend to agree with him.
Blue Jays have got some breaks today from Bill Miller. No doubt about that. But also they pitched very well. Chris Bassett hitting his spots routinely in his great 5-inning start. Now the 1-2 from Little. Bounce to the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, when Chris Bassett missed today, he either missed just off the plate or he meant to make a bounce a ball or miss up above the strike zone. He was really good today.
Two. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him to wave at the curve, down and away, 1 out.
And when Brendan Little is throwing strikes, when he's attacking hitters, that's really what he can do. Big lefty out of that bullpen.
11th appearance of the season for Little, who's got a 3.38 ERA across 8 innings coming into today. He's punched out 12 and walked 3, make it 13 punched out now in 8 1/3. His pitch to Sean Murphy, swing and a miss by the right-handed hitting catcher, 0-1.
That'll tell you how good your curveball is. Little awkward swing from Sean Murphy on that curveball down below the strike zone.
0-1. Bounce to the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0 Blue Jays. 1 out, no one on base. Top of the 6th. 6th inning brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. The 1-1. Low, 2-1. Brendan Little, becoming the lead lefty this year for the Blue Jays, has really upped his swing and misses so far. 2-1. Downstairs 3-1. Coming into today, when batters swung the bat, they missed 55% of the time. That's among the top couple pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. His 3-1. Called strike, 3-2.
And you could see why. When he gets on top of that fastball, it has the downward action to it. You don't really see that very often from fastballs. Take a look at Chris Bassett. I'll talk about that after this pitch.
3-2. Outside ball 4, and he walks Murphy. 1 on, 1 out.
But if you look at Chris Bassett's fastball, that sinker, it has the horizontal movement, more of the run. If you look at Brendan Little's fastball, it has the vertical drop to it. It's so hard to hit when he gets on top of it. That's why guys are swinging and missing as much as they are.
Little more of a true sinker. Bassett a little bit more of a two-seam fastball. Chris Bassett with 5 scoreless innings today. Now Little in, and he'll turn around the switch hitter Ozzie Albies to bat right. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
And you just don't see big leaguers swing and miss on fastballs as much as they do when Brendan Little's throwing that sinker.
Murphy off first base with 1 out. The 0-1. Swing and a miss again. That was a pretty awkward wait from Albies at a fastball in the dirt. 0-2.
It's almost like they're swinging at a changeup. That's how awkward those swings are. But if you look at the radar gun and it's 94, 95 miles an hour, it's pretty impressive.
Little set at the belt. Rocks and deals. Bounced it to the plate off the side of Kirk. Murphy takes off for second. He'll get in there without a throw on the wild pitch.
Kirk frustrated with himself that he couldn't keep that ball in front of him. That's a big run, standing out in scoring position now.
That one hit him in the chest protector, but it was another breaking ball bounced well in front of the plate. I mean, they haven't given him the easiest of wild pitches to block so far. 1 out now, Murphy in scoring position. 2 peaks back from Little in the pitch. In the dirt, that one stopped by Kirk. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I would imagine Alejandro Kirk is still hard on himself, whether it's a difficult block, whether it's an easy block. If he's not able to keep that ball in front of him and keep Sean Murphy at first base, I'm sure he's not happy.
Two of the better blocking catchers in baseball, Alejandro Kirk and Sean Murphy, starting in this game. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Got him to chase this sinker down and away, 2 outs.
I mean, 3 sinkers, 3 awkward swings from Ozzie Albies. That is very impressive. A great strikeout there, and a very important strikeout from Brendan Little.
Buys Little another left-on-left matchup with the tying run on second, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Drake Baldwin, the DH, is in the pitch. Called strike. Baldwin asking some questions about a pitch that appeared to maybe land just a quarter of an inch below the zone. 0-1. Swing and a miss.
He is really getting on top of that sinker right now. Has a pretty good feel for it. Throw that thing below the strike zone here. Let Baldwin swing over the top of it.
Little sets at the belt, looks at second. The 0-2. Bounce to the plate off the mask of Kirk. It rolls away a little bit, but not enough for Sean Murphy to advance from second. And again, a high degree of difficulty on a ball bounced at Alejandro Kirk.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Sean Murphy didn't go from second to third. That ball got a decent distance away from Alejandro Kirk. Hit his mask, actually.
He squared up to it. It just hit him in the face, rolled to the left. Maybe Murphy, not wanting to risk the third out at third base, decided to stay at second. 1-2 pitch. Called strike three. Brendan Little with 3 strikeouts around a walk. Keeps it 1-0 Blue Jays, middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio.
He's been good today, but the Blue Jays lead 1-0. He deals to Vlad Guerrero Jr. and hits the outside edge. Strike one.
Spencer Strider threw 90 pitches in his last rehab start. He's at 86 now. I'm assuming he'll go 95, maybe 100.
The 0-1. Called strike 0-2. He was incredibly regimented with his pitch count, Strider, in his rehab. Threw 60 in his first outing, 75 in his second outing, 90 in his third, increasing by 15 pitches exactly each time. 0-2. Bounced outside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is action in the Braves bullpen. Southpaw Dylan Lee is warming up. 1-2 pitch. Inside, 2-2.
He still has pretty good velo on that fastball. That last one was 96 miles an hour, 89 pitches. Now for Spencer Strider.
This could be his last batter. His 2-2. High ball 3. With the lefty Lee warming up, it's Brian Snitker's choice. Does he want to turn around Santander to hit right or keep him batting left? But you figure by Andres Jimenez, the lefty Lee is going to be in there. 3-2 pitch to Vlad. Hit foul over the netting.
Well, both of Anthony Santander's home runs this year have come from the left side, so I'd flip him around.
Another 3-2. Hit high. Deep left field. That ball is out of here. First home run of the season for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And the Blue Jays double their lead 2-0. It was worth the wait for sure. An arcing 412-foot shot out to the second deck in left field.
Well, there was a little spinning slider from Spencer Strider at the bottom of the strike zone, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just golfed that thing out of here. What a swing. Put that home run jacket on.
Vladdy high-fiving down the dugout as Anthony Santander comes up. He will face Spencer Strider. Here's the pitch. High ball 1.
That's a big run, too. Goes from 1-0 to 2-0.
Blue Jays trying to win this series after losing the first game 8-4. 1-0. Outside 2-0. Vladdy's still keeping the jacket on right now. Standing at the edge of the dugout as the 2-0 misses upstairs to Santander, ball 3, and you figure this is just about it for Strider. 95 pitches, and the on-deck hitter is the lefty swinger, Andres Jimenez. The 3-0. Swing and a miss. 3-1.
Well, could you tell that Anthony Santander had the green light there? Trying to go yah-yah with that swing.
Well, we thought there might be a lot of back-to-backs from Vlad and Santander this season. We had to wait for Vlad's first until now. Santander trying to give the first back-to-back this duo's had. The 3-1. Outside ball 4. That's going to be a walk issued by Spencer Strider, his first walk of the day. That brings Brian Snitker out of the dugout for the Atlanta Braves, and that's going to do it for Spencer Strider's return. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. A lot of positives to take for Spencer Strider. And
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball.
Thank you very much. So the lefty Dylan Lee is in, and he'll deal to Andres Jimenez. First pitch strike, 0-1. 2-0 Blue Jays. Vlad Guerrero Jr. with his first home run of the season and his second RBI of the game has Toronto up 2-0. No outs, bottom of the sixth. Santander on first, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Yariel Rodriguez is getting loose down in that bullpen. So is Nick Sandlin. Little double barrel action right now for the Blue Jays.
Perhaps Sandlin if it stays closer. Yariel if the Blue Jays can widen the advantage a little bit. Bearded lefty Lee stares at first base, kicks and fires home. And the 0-2 is a broken bat roller to second base. Charging in Albies, flip over to second to get Santander. That's the only out they'll get. Pretty impressive they even got that out. One down, Jimenez at first on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, that was a nice play from Ozzie Albies. I actually think that he thought that he didn't have a chance at Santander at second base. Is it just the beard?
I think it's just the beard.
Yeah.
He's a little wider than Chris Sale as he steps off and throws to first. Jimenez back with a dive. Pretty built left-hander. Dylan Lee's been with the Braves since he debuted in 2021. Made 2 appearances in October of that year and then was on the playoff roster. Even got his start as an opener in the World Series with the Braves winning the World Series that year. 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1.
There's a big hole on that right side right now. Ozzie Albies is shaded towards second, and then Matt Olson is holding on Andres Jimenez at first base. We've seen Alejandro Kirk go the other way a lot.
Left on right, the 1-1 pitch with 1 out. Never mind, it's a throw over to first as Lee fooled me, but not Andres Jimenez who got back in standing up. Jimenez is definitely the most dangerous base stealer on the Blue Jays right now. 5 stolen bases, been caught once this year. Pretty healthy lead at first, held on by Olson. And running out from behind the plate is Sean Murphy. He's going to go talk something over with Dylan Lee.
I mean, it doesn't look like Andres Jimenez has plans of trying to steal second base, but maybe he's trying to fake out Lee on that pitcher's mound.
Well, the interesting thing is after that pickoff move and then Murphy coming from behind the plate, both of the free disengagements have been used by the Braves. So if Lee throws over again and doesn't get Jimenez, it's a balk. So that gives Andres Jimenez some real estate to get a little aggressive and see if he can goad Lee into a throw. 1-1. Called strike, 1-2.
It's also a little bit harder, and you know this, it's also a little bit harder with a lefty on the mound as opposed to a righty.
But if you can take a hard step to the right, get Lee to throw over and dive back, you get second for free. Or you could just think about stealing, betting that he won't throw over. 1-2, Jimenez leaves on the first move. Swing and a miss, strike 3, throw down to second, not in time. So Kirk goes down on a strikeout, but Jimenez did go on the first move, and he steals his 6th base of the year.
Yeah, and he stole that base with relative ease, beating the throw from Sean Murphy, but now there's 2 outs in this inning, and Andres Jimenez is standing in scoring position at second base.
2-0 Blue Jays. Jimenez on second, Alan Roden at the plate. Roden 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and flied out to right. The offering home is drilled down the right field line, hooking toward the corner, and that ball is foul. 2/3, maybe 3/4 of Schneider's porch and right is fair. The rest of it foul, and he found that sliver of foul territory.
Well, Alan Roden wasn't sure if that ball was going fair or foul. It was kind of hooking down the line, and he was rounding first base as that ball landed in foul territory down that right field line. But another good swing from him.
.271 hitter in his rookie season. This is potentially his 49th Major League at-bat. The 0-1. outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good take on a tough slider from Lee, just off the plate outside.
2-0 Blue Jays. Speedy Andres Jimenez in scoring position with 2 outs. And the pitch. High, 2 balls, 1 strike. Quickly zip over to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Might want to keep an eye on the Seattle Mariners, who after an off day are going to be in Toronto on Friday. Mariners are in Cincinnati. Bryce Miller against Nick Martinez tonight at 6:40 Eastern. Mariners 8-9 entering that game. Reds 9-8. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. A long look at second, and the pitch home to Rodin. Fouled right back into the netting. Rolled it off the handle into the screen. 2-2.
That was a mistake from Lee. They were trying to go away with that slider, and he left a little spinner right over the middle. Alan Rodin put a good swing on it, just fouling it back.
I think he just reached a little too far out for it, thinking it would break. Rodin hit his first career homer yesterday. 2-2. Outside. Ball 3. Lee came in after the solo shot from Vladdy and the walk from Santander, a fielder's choice and a strikeout. Now it's 3-2. Popped up foul back behind the plate and towards the official score today, Roger Lajoie. It's still 3-2.
So the Braves have seen Alan Rodin go deep in fair territory, go deep in foul territory. I think if I'm Lee here, I'm probably being careful with him as well.
On deck hitter is Ernie Clement, runner on second, 2 outs, 3-2 Blue Jays. The pitch. Downstairs, ball 4. Alan Rodin takes a walk and the inning continues.
Good at bat. Fouled off a couple of tough pitches, took some tough pitches, and then just spat on that mid-90s fastball from Lee for a walk. And here comes Ernie Clement.
Clement up with 2 on and 2 out. A run in for the Blue Jays this inning. They're up 2-0 on the Atlanta Braves. In the bottom of the 6th, the pitch from Dylan Lee, swing and a miss. Strike 1. That was a slider from Lee. His lead pitch also throws a 4-seamer and change. Southpaw rocks and deals. And hits the zone to get ahead 0-2.
It's interesting that Lee has that mid-90s fastball. Pretty good life on it, and he leads with the slider.
Pitching backwards often. There's 2 straight sliders to start. Now he might rev it up with the heater. His 0-2. Fastball roped down the left field line. That's going to bounce foul.
Ernie was right on that fastball at the top of that strike zone. Lee tried to sneak it by him there, but that was a good swing from Ernie Clement.
Two sliders, then the elevated heater. And now time is going to be called, and Dylan Lee has committed a balk. Jimenez up to third, Rodin at second. It was subtle, whatever the balk was, but the Blue Jays have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. 0-2 to Clement. Lifted foul down the left field line, and that one hit deep enough to get into the seats.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, and nobody argued, so obviously it was very clear what he did, but I didn't see anything. Haven't seen a replay of it yet.
A single likely scores 2 with runners off on contact. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Lee went with the changeup and gets Clement to strand a pair and end the inning. But the Blue Jays add to their advantage. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with his first home run of the season. It's 2-0 Toronto after 6 innings. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard.
the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Apo Taco. Do you know what it means?
Here to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Find your location at timbermart.ca.
Hey, this is Dalton Varsho. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 7th inning is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 2-0 Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Nick Sandlin kicks and fires to a pinch hitter, Jared Kelenic. Called strike, 0-1. Pitching change for Sandlin, also brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Right-handed side armor, rocks and offers. Kelenic swings and chops it on the ground, foul right side, 0-2. Blue Jays used Sandlin yesterday for one batter, struck out Nick Allen swinging to end the 7th. Oh-2. Fouled off. Still no balls, 2 strikes.
Pretty good split finger there from Sandlin. Sandlin's had a pretty good year so far. 8 ball games, a 2.84 ERA, 6 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts.
And it is an interesting decision to pinch hit and bring a lefty in to face Sandlin because he was more effective against lefties last year with that splitter. His 0-2. Fouled right back into the screen. 92 elevated. Braves going to Kelenic, though, who is on the fat side of a platoon, a left-handed hitter who's going to come in and face right-handed pitchers. 0-2 again. Outside and low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
They were trying to backdoor that slider. Or, sorry, that splitty. Looked like a slider from up here, but kind of got on the side of it, and it ran way outside.
Sandlin sets, and the 1-2. Fouled off of Kirk and the right ankle of Bill Miller, the home plate umpire. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
Jimmy Garcia's getting loose down there in that Blue Jays bullpen now. And with that off day tomorrow, John Schneider really can use whoever he wants down there in that bullpen.
Stayed away from Garcia yesterday. Another 1-2. Hit on the ground right at the second baseman, Jimenez. Down to a knee, picks it up, throws to first. 1 out. Let's quickly take a look at the Bet365 standings. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Before we get there, Eli White up to the plate. He is 1 for 1 today, a single and a walk. With 1 out, Sandlin deals home, and White fouls it back. Standings in the AL East coming into today, the Yankees 10-7 leading the division. Blue Jays 10-8 in second, half a game back. Red Sox 9-10, and the Rays 8-9, both 2 games back. And then Baltimore 6-10, 3.5 games back. The 0-1. Slider just missed inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I have a feeling that AL East is going to be a fight till the finish. It'll be a fun summer, that's for sure.
Felt like coming into the year, all 5 teams Could do big things in the AL East. Still feels that way. The 1-1. Hit on the ground right side. Dive by Jimenez. It's past him into right field. A base hit. With the infield shifted toward the third base side, White hit it to the first base side, and he comes up with his second single of the game.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad pitch from Sandlin, but Eli White doing a good job just finding that hole on the right side of that infield. Andres Jimenez did as much as he could trying to catch that ball, but just snuck through into the outfield.
So 1 out, a runner on first. Orlando Arcia at the plate. Sandlin's pitch. Swing and a deep drive foul down the left field line, 0-1. Arcia, an all-star on the 2023 Braves, really struggled at the plate in 2024 and seems to have lost his regular starting role this year. The 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Getting the start today and batting ninth, Orlando Arcia had last played on April 11th. One out and a runner on first. Nick Sandlin looking in. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Really nice slider right there. An awkward out in front swing from Arcia, 2 down.
Yeah, that was a great pitch. John Schneider's coming out to get Nick Sandlin here, but that was a great pitch. Looked like a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and then just went left.
John Schneider walking to take the ball from Nick Sandlin. Jimmy Garcia about to come in to face the top of the order. Let's go back to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, guys. Let's check in again on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a one-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
All the big hits.
At the wall, gone! No doubt about it!
All the great grabs.
Oh, wow! You gotta be kidding me! Put a cape on him!
And all the swagger.
And he does it in grand fashion!
Relive the day's biggest plays all in one lightning-fast hour.
Oh, my goodness! What a show! You better believe it!
Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings only on MLB Network.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just...
As always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action down at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. A pitching change for the Blue Jays brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Jimmy Garcia into the ballgame. 2 outs, top of the 7th, 2-0 for the Blue Jays over the Braves. John Schneider goes to Jimmy Garcia with the top of the order up, tying run at the plate, represented by Michael Harris II. The pitch. Breaking ball, called strike.
Jimmy Garcia's been really good this season. Still hasn't given up an earned run. 8 innings, 4 hits, 10 strikeouts for the big righty.
Now out from home plate is Bill Miller, walking near the front of the dirt circle. Not exactly sure why.
I think Jimmy Garcia had a wristband on or something, and he had to take it off and put it in his back pocket.
Now the 0-1. Fastball at 97, called a strike, 0-2.
That is a tough pitch. If you're Michael Harris, he's shaking his head right now, and I tend to agree.
Looked a little bit outside. Harris, 3 strikeouts today. The 0-2. Outside by a good margin that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pretty good fastball today from Jimmy Garcia. 96, 97. Hasn't shown us a 98 yet. I'm sure it's in that tank.
It was down a little bit on the road trip. It was also freezing in Boston and New York. 1-2. Called strike 3. Backdoored him with a breaking ball, and he sets down Harris to end a scoreless inning. We go to the 7th inning stretch. The Blue Jays up 2-0 in the rubber match on the Atlanta Braves. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is oppo taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an oppo taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Off Base is coming in a brand new format. Join Lauren Gardner and Xavier Scruggs as they explore all the baseball buzz across social media, pop culture, and around the majors. The Off Base Podcast, Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network. The MLB Network Podcast is here. Join your favorite on-air personalities for unique perspectives, in-depth interviews, and untold stories from on and off the field. The MLB Network Podcast, presented by New Balance, Sundays at 11:30 Eastern.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy.
Guess who just bundled their home and auto with Desjardins Insurance?
Well, look at you, all grown up and saving money.
Yes, I am.
Mom told you to do it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Switch and you could save up to 35% on home insurance when you bundle home and auto. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 8th punch out for Easton Lucas
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center in downtown Toronto, where the Blue Jays lead the Braves 2-0. And welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Pitching change for the Braves. Pierce Johnson into the ball game. He comes on with 8-9-1 to hit for the Blue Jays. Addison Barger, Miles Straw, and Bo Bichette. Johnson, the righty, rocks and offers, and Barger takes a strike, 0-1. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Johnson's 0-1. Swing and a high fly ball, medium depth center field. Harris over to his left, now walking forward, makes the catch. 1 out.
I'll tell you what, Addison Barger just missed that pitch. It was a hanging curveball from Johnson, and he just got underneath it. Almost squaring that thing up. If he squared that up, that would have been in the WestJet flight deck.
The tantalizing power of Addison Barger that has him up right now with Nathan Lucas on the paternity list. 1 out, and the pitch here to Miles Straw. Called strike. Pierce Johnson, a veteran, 2012 43rd overall pick by the Cubs. Pitched only 1 game with Chicago, but time with the Giants, Padres, Rockies, and now 3rd season with the Braves. His 0-1. Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson also spending a year in Japan. 2019, he was with the Hanshin Tigers. 1-1, foul tip, 1-2.
Fun fact about the Hanshin Tigers, it's an all-dirt infield.
No grass?
0 grass on the infield. You think it's fun and awesome, but it's not.
The 1-2 pitch. down and away, 2-2. Johnson parlayed his season with Hanshin into a multi-year contract with the Braves. Spent 2020 to 2022 with San Diego before joining Colorado in 23 and being traded to the Braves at the deadline that year. 2-2. Just high. Check swing, appeal down to first, no swing, full count.
Well, that looked like a strike on the pitch. Just clipping the top part of that strike zone at 95. A good pitch from Johnson.
Long hair for the right-handed pitcher. He kicks and offers and misses up top, ball 4. A walk there for Miles Straw with 1 out.
Another good AB from him. Like I said in his last at-bat, he looks very comfortable in that batter's box. Not antsy, not jumpy. On tough pitches, it's kind of like a statue in that batter's box. Looking pretty good up there.
Straw gets a word from first base coach Mark Budzinski. 2-0 Blue Jays. 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Bo Bichette. Called strike. Pierce Johnson's got a mid-90s fastball, pairs that with a curveball, and every once in a while, he'll throw a cut fastball that's low to mid-90s. The 0-1. High, Bichette ducks out of the way of the heater. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There was that cut fastball. Johnson left it arm side high, kind of running past the face of Bo Bichette. You can hear the crowd.
Long look in and then a step off and throw over to first by Johnson. Worried about the speed of Miles Straw, who swiped 1 bag this year, swiped 30 last year at AAA.
I wouldn't mind if he took off at some point during this at-bat. Try to get in a scoring position with 1 out here.
The 1-1. Inside. That was a curveball that missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. Johnson, another one of these guys like a Tommy Nance who has a power curveball. Brendan Little has it too, mid-80s. 2-1. Missed inside with that curve again, 3-1. I mean, years ago, you would have never seen a curveball above 75, maybe 77. And now guys in the mid to high 80s with some curves.
Impressive curves, too. I like Tommy Nance.
The 3-1. Straw takes off, pitches high and outside. No, it's called a strike, so that means the throwdown not in time and a stolen base for Straw. Throw wasn't even close. It actually skipped into center. Stolen base for Straw. He's on second and now a full count. That pitch looked like it was ball 4, but instead called strike 2.
Wow, Straw got a great jump. Sean Murphy actually tried to throw Straw out from his knees. He overthrew Ozzie Albies out at second base, but an easy stolen base for Miles Straw.
So a full count, 1 out. Bichette still at the plate. Runner on second. The pitch is hammered down the left field line. Base hit rolling into the corner. Straw will jog around third and come in to score. Bichette jogs up to second. An RBI double. It's 3-0 Blue Jays.
Well, that's why that stolen base is so important. If Miles Straw doesn't steal that bag, he's probably at third base right now. But instead, the Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning with 1 out.
Second double of the game for Bichette, 8th of the season. As he continues to round into form.
He hammered that baseball down the line.
3-0 Toronto, 1 out. Bichette on second. The pitch to Vlad Guerrero Jr. Up and in, ball 1. Vladdy 2 for 3 today, a single and a solo homer, 2 RBIs. 1-0. Swing and a miss, huge hack at a cutter left over the middle of the plate, 1-1.
You think he was trying to hit his second home run of the ball game?
I think so. 1-1 pitch. Called strike. Fastball on the outside edge, 1-2.
That was that cutter off the plate outside. Vlad didn't like that call, but it's a pretty good pitch.
Johnson's 1-2. Hit away, foul. Curveball on the outside corner. Guerrero crouched down, reached over, and poked it away.
And Yariel's still warming up in that bullpen. If the Jays can score a run here, maybe a couple, I'm sure Yariel will be in this ball game.
If not, you could leave Jimmy Garcia in. He faced one batter and ended the top of the seventh. The 1-2. Hit high in the air down the right field line, slicing foul. Bo Bichette leading off second, no one close, keeping him close to the bag. One out, the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson's 2-2. Down and away, ball 3.
Good take there on a tough curveball, down and away, just off the plate outside.
Action in both pens. Yariel Rodriguez to the left, Daysbel Hernandez to the right. Payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. After falling behind 1-2, he fouled off a pair, took 3 straight balls, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. has a walk. He's on for a third time today.
And here comes Brian Snitker, but that was a great at-bat from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. When he's struggling, he'll offer at that curveball or that slider off the plate, but when he's on like he is right now, he takes it and takes his walk.
Reminder that this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in...
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is oppo taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an oppo taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Every game night is a chance to go big with MLB Big Inning.
Falcons firing Executive Vice President David Griffin. Hall of Famer Joe Dumars is a front-runner to become the lead basketball exec in New Orleans. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to the Dome we go. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, show. 3-0 Blue Jays, a run in this inning. And Toronto with first and second, 1 out. Daysbel Hernandez in his pitch to Anthony Santander, cut on and missed. Strike 1. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 0-1. Hit off the end of the bat, foul, 0-2. Third year in the big leagues for Daysbel Hernandez. 7th appearance of the season. He's got a 4.26 ERA in 6 1/3 innings. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. 0-2 pitch is lined to right field, hooking foul. By the way, you might be hearing this. I think someone has brought an air horn to the Rogers Center. It is funny, but they're blowing it when the Braves pitchers are pitching. That person really does need to stop doing that. It isn't totally fair to the game. I'd imagine there's a search on for them right now. 0-2. Low 1 ball, 2 strikes, and I didn't hear it that pitch, so maybe they're on it.
That's more of a soccer thing, isn't it?
Like the Vuvuzelas in the 2012 World Cup. I mean, maybe that's what it is, but not really sure you're allowed to do that. Next pitch hit on the ground up the middle, fielded by Arcia at short. He steps on second, throws to first, and that will end the inning. The Blue Jays get one on the Bo Bichette RBI double. It's 3-0 Toronto after 7. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local fan.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Can't get enough baseball? Start streaming MLB Network today. Get up to 15 out-of-market games a week live on any device. Plus 24/7 access to MLB Network's award.
To the wall, to the track, it's gone.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Show Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young, Austin Mackey, and Derek Brandeo, our technical directors. 3-0 Blue Jays. Jimmy Garcia to Austin Riley, and he misses down and in to start the 8th. 1-0. Blue Jays had Yariel Rodriguez up, but stick with Garcia in a 3-run game. 1-0. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Meanwhile, you look to the other side, and this is a familiar feeling for the Atlanta Braves, trailing 3-0. Garcia kicks, offers home, and Riley fouls it off. 2-1. They had a big offensive day, first game of the series, 8 runs scored. Yesterday they scored 3, and 2 of them in the later stages of the game. Today they don't have any. It's just been an oddly inconsistent offensive start. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
And after that first game, Austin Riley actually said this lineup is built to do damage. I would agree with him with the first 4 or 5 hitters of the lineup, but then after that, it gets kind of soft. If you're going to be a playoff team, you probably need to add a couple more.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Riley goes down, 1 out.
How about that? Just blowing that fastball by him at 97 right down the middle. Here it is.
We have talked about it. I mean, the first 2 ads you make are you add Marcell Ozuna right back to the 4 spot. Right. He's just about the best hitter in baseball. And then you put Ronald Acuna Jr. in there. And all of a sudden you have guys like Albies or Harris hitting 6 or 7. First pitch to Matt Olson, called a strike, 0-1. But Matt Olson is hitting 206 right now. He was one of the best hitters in baseball in 2023. What are they going to get out of a guy like him? 0-1. Downstairs, 1-1.
But I think they'll just have to find a way to not fall off a cliff until those guys come back and are able to they're able to be that team that they were supposed to be.
They didn't put Ozuna on the injured list while he wasn't here, so hopefully for them he's back next series. 1-1 pitch outside, 2-1, dealing with hip inflammation, but he passed all the tests back in Atlanta. Ronald Acuna Jr. also passed some tests that he had to get going on a rehab, so he hasn't played yet, but he will soon. 2-1 pitch from Garcia lands in there, 2-2.
Just dotted that fastball down and in to Matt Olson.
For the Braves, though, you can't dig too deep of a hole. Entering today, 5-12. There's still time to turn it around and make the playoffs, but you really want to win your division. 2-2. Called strike 3. 3 strikeouts in 3 batters for Jimmy Garcia. 2 down.
Just filling up that strike zone with that good fastball. It's almost like Matt Olson was expecting something off speed there. I mean, what more do you want? 2 strikes on you. That's a hittable pitch. 97 down in the strike zone.
Garcia in the set is pitched to Sean Murphy. Downstairs with 96, ball 1.
And of course, with Spencer Strider back, that's a huge boost to this ball club.
You know, Chris Sale hasn't pitched the way that Chris Sale did last year. If he gets halfway there, they're a better team. 1-0. Called strike 1-1. But they've had more than enough nights where they've pitched well enough to win games and haven't hit well enough to be in a spot to do it. And this is, at least so far, another one of those days. Down 3-0 of the Braves. Swing and a miss at the 1-1. It's 1-2. And as much as you'd love in Ozuna and Acuna, Harris, 4 strikeouts and 4 at-bats today. Riley, 4 strikeouts and 4 at-bats today. The 1-2 to Murphy, and he swings and misses and strikes out. Jimmy Garcia punches out the side, and the Blue Jays are up 3-0, middle of the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at Sportsnet.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show, MLB Tonight, live at 5. Join Greg, Harold, and Dan and a star-studded roster for a preview of all the night's matchups. Get a first look at the lineups.
Everything looks good right now for the Yankees.
First take from the players.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
And the first of many breakdowns before the first pitch. A full night of baseball starts at 5. MLB Tonight's national pregame show. Weekdays at 5 Eastern on MLB Network.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just...
Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, bottom of the 8th inning, and a new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. First pitch home from... still Daysbel Hernandez. Aniel De Los Santos warming up right now. It's 3-0 Blue Jays, and the first pitch home misses low, ball 1. Andres Jimenez, Alejandro Kirk, Alan Rodin to hit. Next pitch to Jimenez, down and in, ball 2. Right-hander Hernandez, a 2-pitch guy, slider and 4-seamer. Next pitch, called a strike, 2-1. breath from the righty. The offering home is poked foul off to the left. That'll even the count 2-2. As the Blue Jays bat in the bottom of the 8th, their closer Jeff Hoffman gets loose for the top of the 9th inning. Would be a safe situation unless Toronto adds on.
Yeah, I'm sure if the Jays get one or more runs.
2-2 is low, 3-2.
I'm sure Jeff Hoffman won't be in this ballgame. Mason Fluharty was throwing a couple pitches earlier on in this inning. So we'll see what happens here in the bottom of the 8th.
Right-hander sent the pitch. Hit well, left center field. Harris on the run into the gap makes the catch. 1 out. Some may have seen that Jeff Hoffman had a emphatic reaction to his outing against the Baltimore Orioles, a team that decided not to give him their original contract offer after some questions about the physical that he had with them. Pitch down to Alejandro Kirk with 1 out. This is down and away, ball 1. Well, the other team to do it was the Atlanta Braves. The Braves and the Orioles both had issues with Hoffman's physical that the Blue Jays did not. 1-0. Inside, 2-0.
And so far, it's really worked out for the Blue Jays.
Really has. The 2-0. Called strike, 2-1. Two-one pitch, down and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. Righty Hernandez in the set, his 3-1. Called strike, 3-2. Kirk 1 for 3 today, singled in the second, a ground out and a strikeout. Payoff pitch. Hit in the air, right field. Backing up to the warning track, Eli White, and he'll make the catch just in front of the wall. Little off the end of the bat. Still, Alejandro Kirk almost got that out to right.
Yeah, I thought for a split second that ball would sneak out of here into that Braves bullpen in right field. It was a pretty good fastball, 97 down and away from Hernandez. And as we've seen so often this season, Alejandro Kirk just takes it the other way. Just missing a home run out there in right field.
Hernandez, a Cuban right-hander, signed with the Braves in 2017. Pitches to Alan Roden. It's bounced to second. Albies up with it, throws to first, and ends the inning. We go to the 9th. The Blue Jays leading the Braves 3-0, looking to close out a series win. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know?
At Newboro, we develop unique plans so people can unlock the equity in their home. Unique like this one. It's called the Aaron and Catherine Plan. Aaron was in the middle of selling his small business and wanted to pay off some debt. Truth is, big banks are not too keen on small business. So we developed a plan that was the perfect fit. Because as we see it, you're anything but small. Reach out today. We'll work side by side to unlock the equity in your home.
Use your home to get a loan with Newboro.
License 13115.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Francis kicks and delivers. Called strike 3, 95.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ninth inning in Toronto, and the Blue Jays leading the Atlanta Braves 3-0. Pitching change for Toronto, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Jeff Hoffman is the pitcher for the Blue Jays. The closer is in. New right fielder is George Springer, substituting in to right for Addison Barger. Hoffman's pitch to Ozzie Albies, fouled right back 0-1. 8 appearances for Jeff Hoffman, 2-0 with an 0.96 ERA and 3 for 3 in save situations. Is 0-1. High at 97, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Hoffman's got that high strikeout rate as well. 13 strikeouts in his 9 1/3 innings pitch. Just 5 hits.
Righties 1-2. High again. Pardon me, that was a 1-1. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Blue Jays on the precipice of some club history right now. 2-1 from Hoffman. Called strike 2-2. With the Blue Jays 18 team punch-outs today, they have tied their franchise record for strikeouts in a 9-inning game. One more here would break the record. 2-2. Hit on the ground, foul, right side. We'll do it again.
2 pretty good split fingers right there to Ozzie Albies. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back with something hard. But he's got that split finger working right now.
Hoffman set at the belt. His pitch. Lined right side, running catch by Jimenez as he covered the 4-hole and stumbled while grabbing it. 1 down.
And how about that play from Andres Jimenez? Almost in the perfect position in that hole on the right side of the infield, but what a play. Ranging to his left for out number 1. A big out in this inning.
1 down, and Drake Baldwin up to the plate. Another guy batting left for the Atlanta Braves. The pitch. Low ball 1. Jeff Hoffman agreed to terms with the Braves. Offer rescinded due to a physical in the offseason. His 1-0. Called a strike, 1-1.
What a beautiful pitch. Down and away. 97 miles an hour with that fastball.
Shoulders looking pretty good to me.
Sure, it's looking good to the Braves as well.
Hoffman's 1-1. Hit foul, and he gets ahead 1-2.
Really has a good feel for that split finger.
Fastball, slider, splitter for Jeff Hoffman, the right-hander. In the set, third base side of the rubber. Here's 1-2. Check swing liner foul, third base side. They'll do it again. Three 3-0 Blue Jays. 1 out, bases empty. Top of the 9th inning. The 1-2. Hit in the air to left field. Racing back toward the corner. Allen Roden at the wall, and he runs out of room. That ball's gone. Drake Baldwin with his first career major league home run, and it's a 3-1 game.
The only thing I don't love about that split finger, and I love his split, I love his fastball, I love that combination. The only thing I don't like about it is that on the previous pitch, Baldwin showed that he was way behind that fastball, so why speed the bat up with a slower split finger? And he was right on that slower split finger and hit it out to left field.
So the Braves finally on the board. A bunch of homers for Atlanta in this series. And Baldwin's first career. Now Hoffman gets ahead of Kelenic, 0-1. Second at bat for Jared Kelenic, substituted in the top of the 7th. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Only the second run allowed this season by Jeff Hoffman. Both of them have been allowed when the Blue Jays were up multiple runs in a save opportunity. Righties 0-2. Popped up near third. Ernie Clement back onto the outfield turf. Just on the edge. Makes the catch. 2 down. Blue Jays an out away from locking this one up, and stick with us because post-game Alan Roden is going to join the show to talk to us about the series overall. Blue Jays up 3-1 right now on the Braves. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 9th. Hoffman deals to Eli White. Called strike. White yet to be retired today, 2 for 2 with a walk. The 0-1. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hoffman's 1-1. In the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. School day here at Rogers Center. Some of the kids have had to go back to school, but plenty of fans sticking around and on their feet here in the top of the 9th inning. The 2-1. Hit back foul, and the Blue Jays are a strike away. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Hoffman sets at the belt. He kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Blue Jays win it, and Jeff Hoffman helps the Blue Jays set a club record with their 19th strikeout in a 9-inning game. 3-1, the final score.
Well, it was an incredible pitching performance from the Toronto Blue Jays. Chris Bassitt, again, with his 4th great start this season. The sinker was working for him, the slow breaking ball and that cutter at the top of the zone. But the biggest surprise for me coming out of that bullpen was Brendan Little. He was really, really good this afternoon, and I think he learned just today that if he throws that sinker right down the middle, he can get big league hitters out.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is
Toronto really turned what looked like a